I'm on the most famous ski tour in the world, a legendary journey through some of Europe's last great wilderness. A chance to be at one with the mountains as I travel through France, Italy, and Switzerland, all in the same trek. It's a feat of human endurance that would push even Superman to his limits. This is the Haute Route, and I'm somewhere in the Alps.
The Alps are situated in Western Europe and span the 3 countries of France, Italy, and Switzerland. I'm ski touring for 7 days on the legendary route from Chamonix to Zermatt. I begin at the Argentier Glacier and trek from hut to hut, crossing the Col de Chardonnay, passing through Verbier, and climbing the highest point at Pin de Rolla before my final stretch past the iconic Matterhorn into Zermatt.
The Haute Route is something that every accomplished ski mountaineer hopes to try at some point in his or her life. It's supposed to be one of the most incredible natural experiences. I'm a little nervous because I know I'm not the best skier, but I'm excited to try it, and I'm also determined to make it.
Surrounded by the highest peaks of the European Alps, the ski resort of Chamonix is where the Haute Route begins and where mountaineers from all around the world come to go high alpine ski touring.
Well, this is it, day 1 of the trek, and it's all about acclimatizing to the slopes. It's not recommended to do these things on your own, so I'm meeting my guide Robbie here. We're going to take a cable car up to the Aiguille du Midi and then attempt the Vallée Blanche and the life-threatening Mer de Glace Glacier, the Sea of Ice. Oh, what's up, Robbie?
How's it going, Zay?
Cold.
Very good, very good. Okay, so you all set for today now?
I am set and ready.
Okay, well,
I think.
will we hit it? Let's go.
At 3,800 meters, the Aiguille du Midi is the most spectacular cable car in Europe.
Blue sky up above. Yeah. So we're probably moving up in quite good weather. So it should be good today.
At 10.5 miles long, the treacherous Vallée Blanche is the longest off-piste descent in the world.
So here we go. This is our arête down here.
Look at this. I can't believe how many people are already on the mountain.
Today's run is just an acclimatization day before the full trek begins, as Robbie needs to decide if I'm even good enough to ski it.
I like these crampons. Look at this. Just dig into the mountain. Yeah. Awesome valley, man. That just looks like hard clouds.
Yep, that's it. And that's the way we're going there, Zay.
All
Okay.
right.
So just one thing.
Yep.
We're skiing on a glacier, so I just want you to stay behind me. Okay? Are you ready to go? Okay, let's go.
Are you having a laugh? Are you having a laugh?
I've never skied in powder before, and it's going to take a while to get my ski legs. The Vallée Blanche is so different to the manicured pistes of the ski resorts. Here, there is no ski patrol, no markers, just slopes of virgin snow.
Oh, can I Oh, man, that was a
Whoa!
pretty bad fall, but at least it was soft.
Nice fall, though. Nice fall. Yeah, but just, I mean, one of the things you find is when you're skiing in the powder snow, it's actually easier than skiing off to the side where it's already chopped up.
Right.
So when we go on down here, try and stay in the fresh snow. Okay, Zay, hang on a sec. Whoa, whoa. Just now, this part here, this serac here, you see the ice, the shape of the ice there? Every time I've skied through here this season, there's been big car-sized blocks down there. So we can't stop there. We just got to go straight through there, and then I'll give you a rest afterwards.
I'm following you.
Watch out here, Zay. Just slow down, slow down. Come over here. Just look down, just down here. Look, there's a crevasse just down here. So we're going to have to go around it. They're very dangerous near the edge, so we need to stay back a little bit from the edge.
It just creeps up on you. Huh?
Yeah, just like that, like a trapdoor in the snow.
On average, 50 people die or are seriously injured in the Chamonix Valley each year. And with no tracks to guide you, it's easy to ski into a hidden crevasse.
Over, I go. Oh!
Do you like that?
Yeah, okay, all right.
Okay, now spin yourself around and get your feet onto the ice.
Threw me over. Oh.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
It's going to be a lot worse than that if you actually fall into a crevasse.
Yeah, it's
You had
true.
a rope on this time. Okay, down you go. Just walk down normally.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's as if I've fallen all the way down to the crevasse. This is the challenging part.
Good stuff. That's it, stretch up. Yeah, get that one in. Okay, go again with that one. Go again. 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 Good, that was a good one. Okay, move the feet up.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can. Good job, Zay, good job.
Okay.
Okay, use your feet, that's it. Really good.
All right.
Coming up.
If I had really fallen into a crevasse, I could well have broken a leg or arm, so now I know why having a guide and carrying this kit is so important. You'll do better with a rope than a spare pair of underpants.
All right, there you have it, folks. That is the Valley Blanche and the Mer de Glace, where it really does feel like a sea of ice. I gotta say, I was a little apprehensive at first, but now I'm feeling pretty warm. How do you think I'm gonna do in the hot route?
We'll see.
And we're moving right on. So, remember, don't try this at home. Come here and try it. Let's go.
It snowed overnight, and much of the hot route is seriously exposed to avalanche risk.
This is your avalanche transceiver. You need to have this right next to your base layer. If I'm looking for you, as I approach you, this will detect.
Mine's beeping now.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
that's when you take out the avalanche probe. Okay.
Yep.
Like, see, that's what
All right.
Here, do you want to see what it feels like there? Just,
So,
that's what
okay,
it feels like.
okay.
You stick it right up my nose, and I don't care because you found me.
What are the chances of an avalanche this time of year?
Today, the avalanche risk has increased due to the extra snow we had last night.
I've had quite a few experiences with avalanches, set off quite a few. It happens out here quite a lot. Especially more recently with shallower snowpacks.
45 people died in France in the year 2006 in avalanches, which was one of the highest ever.
Robbie, we only just met.
Oh, well, you know the way. Let's check.
all right.
Okay, so that's you. Okay.
Remember, I'm human. Not so scary. Actually, I feel a little bit more secure. It's a lot of gadgets, but it's what's going to take care of us up there. You ready for me?
Today, we take the cable car from Argentière up the Grand Monte. It's then a steep descent and uphill climb across the vast expanse of the Argentière Glacier to reach the Argentière Hut in France. There are 3 different routes you can take, which vary from year to year depending on the crevasses.
Here, out across the glacier, over to those crevasses. You can see the crevasses over there. And then down from there, we need to watch out for an avalanche there. Down from there onto the glacier. They actually used that to film one of the James Bond films.
Harding. Zay Harding.
That's it. And this mountain up at the back here, this is Mont Dolent, and it's famous because, well, some of the guides say if you stand there, you can pee in 3 countries.
Ah.
Because you've got Italy on one side,
Yeah.
Switzerland on the other side, and France over here. Hit the road then.
Sure.
Danger is my middle name. Woo! This is like being on another planet.
You can't hang around here too much because of the risk of these seracs falling on our head.
It's neat seeing it broken up like this because you can see what it's made of.
Anyway, come on, let's get out of here before they flatten us.
Let's get out of this joint.
Come around here.
Oh, man.
Whoa! Oh. Nice one! Nice one!
Watch your feet.
Yeah. Okay. It's a perfect place to stop so we can just get our skins on here. Okay? Right, so let's see.
We're about to do our first uphill skiing, and in order to do this, we have to attach artificial sealskins to the bottom of our skis.
Okay, just run your hand along the base of it there. Okay, run it back up the way. Okay, you see that? Yeah. So it's rough one way, smooth the other way.
The fur lays down flat to slide forward and then stands up to give you grip when you climb.
Is this real sealskin?
No, it's a synthetic. I don't know anybody who's really got seal skins. At least I hope I don't know anybody who's really got seal skins. So the thing not to do is not to lift them. You know, you don't want to be lifting them.
Don't
you don't want to be walking like that.
Right.
You want it to be nice and slidey.
You can actually get a little bit of glide.
Yeah, they'll slide all right, won't they?
Yeah.
Okay, Zay, you come through and go out front.
You want
like
me
a
to lead?
domestique in the Tour de France. You pass me out and you start making the tracks. And then I get to see how
Coming
you're...
up from behind.
Come on, come on, come on, move on,
Major
move on,
uproar.
move on, move
The
on.
American is taking the lead of the Irishman. Oh.
This technique was invented by the Native American Indians, who used real sealskins, and is still used in Greenland by the Inuit.
Folks, if you're watching this at home and you think you're in slow motion, you're not. This is how it goes.
I think in lots of ways it's easier than walking.
The important thing to remember with ski touring is to wear lots and lots of light layers. You can work up a sweat at times, and the weather can change quite suddenly.
Should I have brought my passport? Because, like, we're going to be going through a couple different countries, huh?
Yeah, well, you don't need your passport at the moment, but you can...
There's no border patrol?
No border patrol. You need your passport at the end, really.
Are we almost there yet?
You can see it just up there, Zay.
All right.
With only yards to go, and after my first taste of skinning, I can finally see our destination, the Argentière Hut. Suddenly, it feels like the mountain has got it in for us, and I'm struggling.
Okay. The same 3 words keep going over my head right now. Cold, scary, and unnatural.
That looks good. I'll tell you something, after that day, I can't wait to eat. I'm not sure what it is, but I think you just dig in.
Actually, it's tartiflette.
Tartiflette.
Yeah, it's a typical meal from here. So it's made of potatoes, a bit of bacon, and cheese, melted cheese.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's what you need after a ski day on the
It
cold
is
foods.
exactly what I need. More carbs for tomorrow.
It's your first time here?
First time, yeah.
Oh, great. You'll enjoy it, actually.
What advice can you give me for my first time?
Eat a lot and go to bed early so that you're in good shape tomorrow.
Eat and sleep? Okay.
Yeah, that's all what you need.
Basics.
Food, the haute route.
To the haute route.
If you're going to do the haute route for the first time, I would recommend practicing putting your skins on and off as quickly as you can, over and over again, so you don't hold up the rest of the group.
I'd recommend going to the gym beforehand, unlike what I did, and getting a bit of exercise and being fit, because you really need it.
Now here's something to consider. All these huts seem like you can just walk in and hang out, but in reality, you do need reservations. So book them 2 months in advance to be sure. Otherwise, you will be turned away. If you show up in the middle of the day, they'll definitely send you away. They have been known to let people spend the night if they show up late in the evening because they feel sorry for you, but you end up literally sleeping on the table and you don't make friends that way. Also, if you do make a reservation, make sure you cancel it if you're not going to come, because what they do is they worry about you and they will actually send out a search party to look for you, which is a good thing. Body heat is good. I'm going to sleep well tonight. See you in the morning. Shh. Sorry. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Had a great sleep, actually. I'm not excited about putting on the same socks. My feet are achy. I'm just thinking how much time I've spent in these boots. And I just gotta suck it up and put them back on. Here we go, another day.
Starting early from the Argentier hut, this is a long, strenuous day with 5 hours skinning to the Col de Chardonnay, from where we descend on ropes down into Switzerland. Then we ski on to Champex, where we transfer by road for a brief stop off in Verbier.
Easy. It's about another 3-4 hours up to the Col de Chardonnay. You okay for that?
I guess so.
Yeah, I just want to get up into the sunshine. It's pretty cold down here. Everest is like this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of Everest is just...
Yeah, I got no desire to do Everest.
No. Well, just if you wanted to know.
The first bit is a hard slog on foot before we get a chance to get the skis back on. Then I've got to learn a whole new turn.
So we need to plant the ski. Turn the uphill ski. Okay, like so. Then get standing on it and balanced over our poles. And then as we stand up, we bring the ski through like that.
Okay.
Then we can walk on until we get to the next turn.
Okay.
Turn like that, like that. Plant the pole. Here's the trick. Watch.
Yeah.
I can just bring it through like that.
So take the inside foot or outside?
That's the one, yeah. The uphill foot turns first.
Uphill, okay. Move my pole.
Making a good job of that, see.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Okay, that's it. Now get this pole up out of the way. Now kick your heel. Click your heel.
Click your heel 3 times and you'll be home.
That's it. Exactly.
Right? In the end, all that matters is
You'll
that
get it.
I made
Get
the
it.
turn.
People always find it quite hard to start with. Come on, Zay. Get around. Okay, not bad for the first one.
One down, 17 to go.
One down, 7,334,000 to go.
Kick turns are important for zigzagging up steep slopes like the Col du Chardonnay, which has some of the steepest climbs in the whole route.
There it is, just there, Zay. About another 200 meters, I'd say.
Nice.
10 or 15 minutes.
Now that we're almost here, what does Col du Chardonnay mean?
The col is the U shape you can see there.
Uh-huh.
So it's sort of a natural pass in the mountains.
Oh, this is tough. So, here we are, the Col du Chardonnay. And I have to say, wow, that is totally worth it. So, there's only one thing left to do. Say goodbye to France and abseil into Switzerland.
Now, it's well known that I don't like heights, so why is it always me that gets these jobs? This is abseiling on ice.
I keep on my crampons?
Yeah, absolutely. Keep on your crampons.
Okay. All right, so how far down is this?
It's just about 80 meters, okay? 80 meters, what's that? 3 times 80? 240 feet.
Oh,
Okay.
I must be delirious. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Right, now you keep your weight leaning back
Yeah.
on the rope. I've got a
Okay.
special knot up there, right?
Okay.
Lean back. Okay, away you go. Go, go. Keep pulling. Yep, that's it.
Do I hold on to this at all?
You can if you want. It feels better.
So just lean back into it, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Good man. Keep going.
Woo.
Lovely.
Okay. Okay. Can't say as I've ever entered a country this way. I feel like a fireman getting lowered in to rescue the burning victims. Oh. Hang in there, folks. I'll be right over. All right. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
A combination of the altitude and exhaustion from skinning all day can take its toll, so don't underestimate how hard this abseil can be.
Another incredible day with an amazingly tough trek up. But now that I'm in Switzerland, I can't wait to ride off into the blizzard. Let's go, Robbie.
Okay, after you, Zay.
After me.
Yeah.
Does that need me later?
From the Col du Chardonnay, you can ski another 3 hours and stay the night at the Trion hut, or else, like me, ski all the way down to Champex in the same day. From here, ski tourers must then take a road transfer to Verbier. After stopping the night in Verbier, I've decided to spend the day here, and I'll pick up the hot route again tomorrow. Today, all the young ski bums are in town for an extreme skiing championship.
This is it, the Extreme O'Neill, a competition that attracts some of the wildest and craziest adrenaline snow junkies in the world. Off-piste addicts who like nothing but the steep and deep, which makes me wonder, what the heck am I doing here? Are you nervous yet or not yet?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm here on top, you're always.
And last night, did you sleep? Did you sleep?
Yes, I well.
Extreme skiing is one of the toughest and truly deadly sports around. The Bec de Ross mountainside is dangerous terrain and almost impossible to ski. A single mistake at the wrong moment could lead to death.
This has to be the craziest thing I've ever seen.
My craziest thing I've ever seen is to see so much people staying at the same place, going to their job every morning, like this in the metro or in the tram. I feel free here, I feel so good.
Scared of heights?
Yeah?
You are?
Me too, I'm freaking out already.
I believe it. It's scary. We should walk to the edge and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what you guys have to do. You're basically free falling, aren't you?
In some places.
Some places.
That doesn't look so bad. I think I'll have a go. Only kidding. I pick up the hot route again, this time on the Swiss side of the Alps. Most ski tours will transfer from Verbier to Arola to take the Fontaines lift, then skin up the Pas de Chèvre and descend via steel ladders to the Dies Hut, a key hut on the route.
There's the top of the lift we just came up.
Yep.
And then we're gonna make our way up here on skins up to the Pas de Chèvre, and that's where the ladders are.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so up that valley, you can see some people, and then to the col.
Okay. How did the haute route come to be?
It was sort of late 19th, early 20th century British explorer types wanting to, you know, looking for stuff to do, like they already had their empire. The idea of linking Chamonix to Zermatt on skis was one of those sort of last great challenges. There's the Pays de Râle up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're going to be tomorrow.
Look at how the clouds are just framing that.
Yeah. Looks a long way away from here, doesn't it?
It does, but it looks doable. One of the neat things about these ski tour skis is not only do they lift up, but the heels are adjustable. So if I'm going up steeper, I just pull those up like that. And all of a sudden, I'm on flat ground again with my feet. So I'm just going up like this, like I'm on stilettos. Not that I'd know. Final payoff.
Not over yet today. Get the skis off. Down the ladders and over to the Cabane 10.
How steep is this ladder?
These are vertical. Vertical ladders.
Nice. Okay, well, in these conditions, in these boots, I don't know how safe this is, but if this is how it goes, this is how it goes. And I just climb down like a regular ladder, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here I was worried about the skiing parts, and this is the slickest part. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, can give me some slack. I think after this trip, I'm gonna be ready for any mission. Send me in, I'll do it. So much nicer to not have to worry about falling. There it is, the Dies Hut. Although from here it looks more like a fort. It's huge. What'd you do today? Not much. Just climbed a couple of mountains, trekked across some valleys. What was it like? Like being on a treadmill for hours non-stop. Except the air is cleaner and you got scenery that humans couldn't even begin to imagine painting. It's impressive. Ah, cozy. Well, this is my room. It looks like the last place where I just pick a bed, and the way I do that is I
reserve it. Put my stuff on the area. Looks like I'll be sleeping next to stuff to make Pete look pretty and smell less nasty. Next to Pete tonight. All right, how do I get up there? Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, let my feet hang off here. Oh, this is heaven.
It costs $70 a night for food and accommodation in these huts. It's quite expensive, but that's because they're in the middle of nowhere, and so all the supplies have to be flown in by helicopter. Being this remote, the huts also make their own water with snow. We've woken up to a snowstorm. Visibility is practically non-existent, and this is the most important day of the hot route.
Well, it's 7 o'clock at the D side, and normally at this time, everybody's gone. It's a big rush to get to the top of the Pinerola. Highest point on the hot route, awesome view. Today, however, it's not looking so good. We've been waiting around for an hour, and we don't know what's going to happen. Robbie's going to check the forecast, and I just hope it's going to be good, because otherwise we have to stay here tonight.
Okay. Well, forecast for this afternoon, it's maybe better for this afternoon, and it's good for the next few days, but this morning they're sort of saying it's going to stay like that.
So what's that mean?
So, well, I suppose basically the thing is, what you've got to think about is in bad weather, if something goes wrong, it's a real problem, you know. So say, for example, we have a little problem up there, then we have to call a helicopter. It's not going to come.
But these guys have gone down. See those 4 down there?
Yeah, that's Philippe. He left, he's just after leaving, and I was just talking to him on the steps, and he was sort of saying the way he was going to try and play it was to leave himself enough time if he turns around that he can go back over the ladders down to a rock.
Bring out the dancing horses and the wine, shall we?
Yeah, I think we should have another coffee, I think.
Yeah.
Bad weather, but I think we have the GPS, so I think we are safe. Do prepare it very well, from the equipment to your condition. And you shouldn't do it if you are not in good physical and psychological condition.
He's 69 and made it the first time.
He's the oldest.
But the fittest.
But the fittest.
Very nice here.
Most people have decided to ski down to Gorola village and pick up the route the next day, but Robbie has decided to soldier on.
Visibility's still poor, but I reckon we stand a chance. So when we're skiing along, I want you close on me, okay? Stay so you can see where I am, and then never go past me, because there is the danger of going into a crevasse in poor visibility like this. Okay, so you ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
It's another heavy day today with 5 to 6 hours of skinning to reach the highest point of the route, the Pinerola. This is one of the highlights of the trek, with a panorama from Mont Blanc to the Matterhorn. The day ends at the Vignette Hut, perched dramatically high on a cliff.
Crevasse.
Oh, yeah.
Gliding down the hill, but it's not worth taking the skins off.
And now, my favorite part of the day, lunch.
And you always get these same lunches everywhere? I mean, what do you want? Protein and carbs, right?
Carbs mainly.
Mainly carbs.
Yeah, mainly. That's my understanding. Carbs and liquid.
And liquid, okay.
You know, you want to stay hydrated. Like the main problem people have in the mountains is they get dehydrated, even on a day like today, just because they're doing more exercise than usual. Look, it's really clearing up now.
Oh, yeah. Sun's breaking through.
Yeah, definitely. Visibility's really increased. Glad we didn't follow the rest of the hut. Like, I mean, a lot of people made that decision to go down to Arolla.
Right.
So,
They're wimps.
No, it could have gone either way, but I mean, I think we've taken the right gamble. A lot of snow must have fallen last night.
Yeah.
Someone's about 10, 15 minutes away, they say.
Awesome.
That's it, just there.
Yeah, see, that's it.
Stay in my tracks, eh? There's a steep drop down the far side there. Okay. It's straight down to Arolla from there. About 500 or 600 meters.
My fingers are freezing.
Finally, we reached the top. At 3,800 meters, this is the highest point on the hot route.
Whoa!
Wow, look at this.
There's the Matterhorn, that's where we're going. Back here, we're back in Italy over there, that's the Gran Paradiso. And then back that way, that's Montblanc, that's where we came from. It's back in France. So 3 countries, all the Alps. Fantastic, isn't it?
You can see everything, nothing in your way, every which way you turn. Complete panoramic, nothing but Alps.
Yeah.
This
is the highest point of the Haute Route as well. So from here it's, well, sort of downhill as far as Zermatt.
It's gotta be. I'm achy, my hands are freezing, they're numb, and I'm tired. But this is worth it. Look at this, nothing blocking you in every which way you look.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible to have a summit in the Alps all to yourself.
It's worth it.
Okay, let's go. Just there. Whoa,
Okay. Come here.
See the vignettes up there?
Oh my God. You've got to be kidding, right?
No. But
That thing is like, right?
It's not as bad as it looks. Yeah, it's not as bad as it looks.
Ah.
Okay? But what I want you to do is I want you to side slip.
Okay.
So really focus on side slipping then here. Okay? Ready
This
to go?
looks even steeper than that.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay.
All right.
This is where I know I really need my guide. One wrong turn, and it's a very steep drop down.
I think I'd rather turn.
No, don't turn. Zay, back this way. Back this way.
Okay. Okay.
Keep your weight on your downhill ski.
On the down one, okay.
Yeah. Come on. Down you go. Back. Back to there, look.
Room.
More about achievement than enjoyment in the hard stages, but when you get to the hard at the end of the day, it's a fantastic feeling of accomplishment. It's a real challenge doing it. It's great fun.
And talking of challenges, my biggest one was yet to come.
Oh, my goodness. The journey I'm on right now is the quick journey to the bathroom. It just seems so bizarre to put it right on the cliff, but that is bizarre to me too. Okay, now I see why they put it on the edge. This would scare the out of me. All right, now leave me alone.
Be prepared not to have a shower during that whole time. Don't pack too much gear either, because you're carrying it on your back the whole way, so as light as possible, and you should be able to survive without not stinking too much for the whole 7 days.
I think the hardest part is when you are being told regularly that it's just over the next ridge, and you get over the next ridge, and it's not just over the next ridge. In fact, it's several other ridges further beyond that. And, you know, One piece of advice, yeah, if you do smoke, give up before you start.
I remember how foreign this all felt the first night. Now it's just part of the routine. Well, every day I've been scared and challenged, and at the end I felt really satisfied and sore. And I kept thinking, if I can just make it through today, then I'm one day closer to the end. And now that I am one day away from the end, I'm actually going to miss it. I feel like my skiing's improved a lot, learned a lot of really good skills. I've enjoyed following Robbie, learning from Robbie, and looking forward to Zermatt tomorrow. But everybody's going to sleep early tonight. Gotta get up early, and I guess I will too.
Last day of the trek, we descend from the Vignette Hut and cross 4 calls and 7 glaciers all the way to Zermatt. It's 15 miles long, includes 2,000 meters of descent, and if you do it all in one day, it takes 12 hours.
I'll tell you something, it was worth being the first ones up today. This is a real sense of discovery, making fresh tracks. It's so weird to me having no rules and no one policing the areas.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, basically over here, you know, if you go out in the mountains and you have an accident, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be responsible for yourself. Wait till you see this now, just a second. Watch, you'll see this amazing sight in front of you now.
What is that tip?
That's the Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. With every step, it gets taller.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible, that.
Yeah. Pretty neat that everybody who does the hot route, no matter what version they do, they all do this last leg, so they all get to see this.
Yeah.
I thought at some point we were going to cross the Italian border.
We've been in Italy for the past 2 hours.
Hold on.
Oh,
we're still in Italy.
Oh, well, maybe. You're in Italy and I'm in Switzerland.
Oh,
Because
really?
this is the border.
Well, listen, you're not allowed to come back in. Don't cross that line.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna, before I leave, have myself a nice little Italian coffee.
Have you actually seen changes in the glacial structure since you've been coming?
Well, I've definitely seen places like the Valley Blanche change. During the summer, we use ladders to get down onto the Mer de Glace, and every year the glacier drops, you know, and you see they put on an extra extension on
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
I suppose the other thing that's really prevalent now is you see snow cannons being used all over the place, all over the Alps. You know, like you're skiing around particular resorts that I knew a few years ago, and now I go down to them and there's these lakes, and the lakes are built just to supply water for snowmaking. A lot of the lower resorts, the resorts below 2,500 meters and even up to 3,000 meters, the snow just isn't guaranteed anymore.
So, do you think the hot route, you think that's ever going to risk melting away as far as a ski tour?
Not for a few years yet, because it is high. But I know there's other ski tour areas like further south that, you know, sometimes guides just can't, you know, they put them in the schedule and they just can't do them because there just isn't enough snow.
Well, I hope I'm not one of those parents that has to say to his kids, "Son, back in my day, there used to be snow up in the Alps."
The fun race down the steep slopes towards Zermatt is an exhilarating climax to this tough journey and a last chance to show off my new skills.
This means hot showers, clean clothes, nice beds.
It's fitting that we end our journey in one of the original alpine ski resorts with its picturesque Swiss chalets, all nestled under the north face of the Matterhorn. But the mountain has a dark side, and the gravestones in the cemetery tell the story of many aspiring mountaineers who have lost their lives in the area.
Being here in this cemetery and seeing how many people have died while climbing in this area brings home how unforgiving these mountains can be and how important it is to hire a good guide if you decide to venture out and do this trek. It really was life-changing. I pushed myself beyond my elements, my comfort zone. When I started, I was so overwhelmed looking at the whole week. Oh my God, how am I going to finish this? Little by little, step by step, I was able to get closer and closer to getting better. And you said, quiet, just listen. Listen to the sound of silence. This was a remarkable, remarkable week. Visually, physically, emotionally, everything. Get yourself a guide. Hopefully you have one as good as Robbie, or you might even have Robbie. I highly recommend doing the hot route. Any version of it, and if you can do the whole thing, the last day is the best day. So, cheers for getting me home safely. That was my one goal. My one goal. Thanks.
Well, there you have it. Skiing the Haute Route was a lot more extreme and challenging than I ever imagined. At one point, I didn't think I was going to make it, but I stuck with it, and something happened. I began to feel the rhythm and understand the psychology of ski touring. And by the end, I was really, really enjoying myself and feeling an incredible sense of personal achievement. Now, I think I deserve to just relax and have some fun down this mountain. I'll see you at the bottom. You take the low road, I'll take the Haute Route.
Stay tuned for a special Globe Trekker Extra.
It started with a roar. Then, the earth opened up and a powerful force emerged, propelling a violent torrent of blistering mud, rock, and steam 80 stories into the sky.
That is like the pit of hell.
This engineering disaster struck the heart of New York City. The explosion occurred at 6 p.m. on July 18, 2007. It erupted through the asphalt at Lexington Avenue and 41st Street in Midtown Manhattan. The blast tore a huge crater in the middle of the block and blew out windows in the surrounding buildings. The black sky and falling debris triggered memories of the 2001 terrorist attacks.
When we first heard it,
we thought the explosion was in Grand Central Station. And we also heard the word massive explosion, and obviously we were concerned at what that might be.
Officials quickly allayed the public's worst fears.
There is no reason to believe that there was any terrorism involved whatsoever. It is probably just a failure of part of our infrastructure.
One person died from shock, and 44 others were treated for injuries. The disaster was the result of an underground steam pipe explosion.
The impact of something like this steam explosion, the consequences could be very similar to the impacts of a break in any infrastructure if there was a terrorist attack. I think we have a lot to learn from this.
The streets of Manhattan rest above an intricate underworld that includes electrical lines, plumbing lines, subways, and sewers. The steam pipe system is built into this maze. The pipes are generally 4 feet below street level, but sometimes to accommodate other utility lines, they go deeper to 10 feet, and some steam mains plunge 20 feet underground. Steam delivery pipes have been part of the island's infrastructure since 1881. That year, the New York Steam Company began laying pipes in the streets to supply steam for locomotives, heating, cooking, and other power.
There was a building in Lower Manhattan that actually constructed 24 small boilers and erected about 3 miles worth of steam piping to serve an area down around the Wall Street area.
New York's steam business continued to grow. And today, it is part of Con Edison, a private utility company. It produces the steam at 7 plants, including the East River Generating Station. Though it may seem outdated, steam power is still an efficient and cost-effective choice for high-rises. And Con Ed provides steam for hot water, heating, and air conditioning to over 1,800 buildings in New York City, including the United Nations headquarters and the Empire State Building.
The Con Ed steam system is comprised of approximately 105 miles of steam piping. Steam piping ranges in size from 2 inches in diameter all the way up to 36 inches in diameter. The system itself produces roughly 27 billion pounds of steam a year. Our peak load day is somewhere just under 11 million pounds an hour of steam a day during the winter months. And in the summer months, we could actually see loads as high as 8 million pounds an hour of steam.
Immediately after the steam pipe explosion, Con Edison went to work to assess and repair the damage. The cause of the explosion remained a mystery. The steam pipe that burst was 83 years old, but that by itself didn't explain its failure. Some experts suspected that factors in the pipe's subterranean environment were to blame.
The vibration in the streets, the fact that there are electric currents that erode the structure of a pipe, the fact that there's a lot of construction going on that moves the soil that's needed to support pipes like this. All of these factors, water, salt, infiltrating the underground, will undermine the age.
Other experts believe that the explosion was caused by something known in the steam business as a water hammer.
Classic case of water hammer in steam pipes is where the pipes have been shut down for some reason. The steam starts to cool, and so that means the water begins to condense out of that steam. Well, those little beads of water gather on the inside of the steam pipe and they roll down to the bottom, and pretty soon there's a pool of water.
Steam travels through the underground pipes at 75 miles per hour. If the water in the pipe has not been drained before the steam is turned on, the steam will pick it up and propel it. When the water hits a turn or the end of a pipe, it has enough force to burst through the metal. As Con Edison continues its investigation, it has not yet disclosed whether or not the ruptured pipe was near a turn. But it has acknowledged that the rupture in the pipe measured 5.5 feet long. The East River Steam Plant uses high-tech methods to regulate the steam distribution in the city. They monitor the temperature and pressure of the steam in an effort to prevent disasters like the explosion from occurring. Within 3 days of the disaster, Part of the street where the explosion happened have been reopened. 1 month later, some of the windows in the surrounding buildings have been replaced. The exact cause of the steam pipe disaster remains unknown and is still under investigation.
The biggest blessing, we had so few injuries. That, I think, is the biggest blessing. The other is that we were able to get so many response personnel here, care for people very quickly, assure people that this was not anything other than a terrible accident.
While the steam pipe explosion in New York may be a result of an aging infrastructure, another large city on the eastern seaboard experienced an engineering disaster from a much more recent construction. In 1991, the Massachusetts Turnpike Authority created the Central Artery Project to ease the gridlocked traffic in Boston. It became affectionately known as the Big Dig. Part of the massive construction project was the Ted Williams Tunnel. Completed in 1995, it spanned 1.6 miles, linking downtown Boston to Logan Airport. To link the tunnel to the I-90 freeway, contractors began building a second connector tunnel, called the D Street Portal. It officially opened in 2005. On July 10, 2006, a passenger car was traveling eastbound through the D Street Portal. As the vehicle approached the end of the tunnel, several large panels of the suspended concrete ceiling detached abruptly from their anchors. 26 tons of concrete and suspension hardware fell, crushing the car. Milena Del Valle, a 38-year-old mother of 3, was fatally injured. The tunnel was immediately closed, and tens of thousands of vehicles per day had to be rerouted.
What happened last night, of course, is unacceptable. People should not have to drive through the turnpike tunnels with their fingers crossed.
Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board were called to the scene and began sifting through the rubble, looking for the cause of this disaster. If these panels could fall, were all the tunnel's potential death traps?
Why did this 40 by 30 foot section of suspended ceiling come down and strike this car?
Since the ceiling was suspended, investigators started looking at the configuration of the hardware used to hold each of the 4,600-pound concrete blocks in place. During construction, the contractors had first drilled holes in the concrete roof of the tunnel. Then, brackets had been bolted into the holes, secured with epoxy adhesive. Metal hangers attached to the brackets held up the concrete panels, forming a drop ceiling. NTSB investigators found that of the 600 steel anchors used to hold up this section of the suspended ceiling, more than 20 had failed, and others had been dangerously dislodged. Could an error have been made in the installation procedure?
Each of those anchors was proof tested after it was installed. In other words, they drill the hole, they put the anchor in, they let the epoxy cure, and then they come back several days later and they're able to actually gauge how much force that they're using to pull down on this anchor.
The mystery deepened as the NTSB discovered that the anchors had all passed the contractor's epoxy proof tests. So investigators turned their attention to the epoxy fastener itself. They discovered a disturbing clue. It had been tested for strength, but not for endurance over time.
You know, you don't build a tunnel with the expectation that you're just going to run traffic through there for a day or a week. You're looking at a long-term investment in a facility that you expect to have in service over a period of time.
The investigators began to study what engineers call the creep factor in the epoxy material used to hold the anchors in place.
Now, by creep behavior, what you mean is if you take any plastic and you fix it at one end and apply a load at the other end, of course, it will stretch. And if it's very stiff like this, it won't stretch very much. But you can measure how far that stretches. If you leave it like that and come back tomorrow, what you find is it's actually stretched a little further. If you come back a month from now or a year from now, it will stretch even further. And that additional extension as a function of time under load is called creep.
By analyzing the actual bolts that were secured in the concrete at the scene of the disaster, scientists did find visual evidence of creep. telltale signs that the epoxy had pulled away from the concrete surface within the anchor holes.
These two anchors were from the failure area, and you can see that this one shows evidence of an adhesive failure, a failure between the surface of the epoxy and the surface of the hole in the concrete. From that evidence, we basically focused on looking at a time-dependent failure mechanism, which is the creep.
While the NTSB investigators continued to dig for more clues, scientists at the National Institute for Standards and Technology were looking more deeply into the properties of the epoxies used in the tunnel. There were actually two types of epoxy, the standard set and the fast set, which dried more quickly.
Well, NTSB provided us with fresh samples of two different epoxies, one labeled epoxy A and one labeled epoxy B. And they wanted us to do some basic characterizations, and they were particularly interested in creep behavior.
NIST scientists prepared hardened samples of both types of epoxy, then loaded them separately into a rheometric systems analyzer, a flow measurement system.
Then we start the test machine, and it automatically does short-term experiments at a whole series of different temperatures. So the whole process is completely automated.
After analyzing all the properties of the epoxies over 6 months, NIST scientists were able to determine that the fast set epoxy had a considerably higher rate of creep.
Essentially, the higher it is, the softer it is. So you can see epoxy A is getting soft much faster than epoxy B. What that means is it's deforming much more rapidly.
The analysis solved the mystery of why the panels had fallen. The fast set epoxy had been used to fasten the anchor bolts into the concrete roof of the I-90 connector tunnel. Because of its creep threshold, the fast set was unable to hold the bolts in place over a long period of time. The epoxy failed just 1 year after it had been installed.
If this module hadn't have failed, it would have been just a matter of time before another one would have failed. I mean, there was no doubt something was going to come down there.
The D Street portal reopened 5 months after the disaster. The panels that fell were never replaced. The cost of the epoxy used in the D Street portal construction was $1,287.60. The price tag for redesigning, repairing, and inspecting all the tunnels after the ceiling collapse in the D Street connector reached $54 million.